Bismillah. So it is 5 p.m. on a Tuesday. We are currently in the Complex C, Putrajaya.
In 150 meters, turn right.
Here is Mestec. We just have finished the meeting, and on that side, I'm not sure if you can see, it is
Turn right, then turn right.
JPA building. So its backlight is making me in the dark from the camera. But anyway, yeah, hopefully you can see on the back there, that is Mestec building. So Alhamdulillah, we have finished one meeting.
In 300 meters, turn left.
With Mestec. Is the KSU just now. Subhanallah. So as usual, every time we settle one meeting, new work appears that need to be settled. Hopefully it's for the good of the nation at least. So I'm doing this, I'm recording and talking to the camera because I'm so tired, I'm so sleepy. I need to be talking with someone. Hopefully that can avoid me from getting asleep.
In 600 meters, slight left.
Yeah. Bismillah. So what should we talk about? I think I can talk about whatever because no one will actually watch this video anyway. So this project that we have been working on started, it is interesting to think about it. It started back before GE14, meaning that the ministry is still Qatar, and then we embarked on this project with the TKSU from the previous government, the previous government, and
Slight left.
then soon after we started, a few months after that, GE14 take place, and then there's a big change in the country. We have a new government. The ministry changed name, including the climate change into the ministry. Then the ministry become Mestec, which affected a little bit, or affected pretty much the project. And then now, before the project ends, we have seen a new government come into the picture. So this project actually spanned through 3 governments so far. I'm not sure what will happen in the future, in the near future, if there's something that will cause another change of the government or anything. But it is interesting to see that I have been involved in a project involving the ministry of 3 different governments. And hopefully the name of the ministry is not changing. Oh wait, I'm making a mistake here. Allahu Akbar. Okay, so we have to find ways to... Anyway, at least I'm not sleepy.
Make a U-turn, then turn left.
Okay, how do we make the U-turn? Oops. What is this? Okay, I should make U-turn here. Okay, so that is when you do not focus
Turn
on the
right,
road.
then turn right.
And you have to make U-turn to come back to the straight path.
Turn right, then turn left.
Okay, the cars are so fast. Wow. Now, so back to what we have been talking about. So it is interesting that I can mention that I have been working with a project directly involving the ministry, and the ministry have seen 3 different governments, right? It seems like a long
400
time.
meters, Turn
you
left
say
onto the ramp.
the project actually need 3 different government to be completed. But it has been quite interesting period of time in this country. Well, what can I say? Yeah, that even someone in the meeting just now said that we are not sure what this new government, newly formed government, will do with the ministry. Whether the
Turn
climate
left
change,
onto the ramp.
whether the climate change component is still together with the Ministry of Technology and Environment, right? Yeah. Anyway, Alhamdulillah, hopefully this blueprint will go on and accepted for being a national policy, and hopefully it will be carried out and then have a real impact in the environment, impact of the nation. Hopefully that is the hope, and that's the motivation for me to keep on going with this project anyway. Yeah, so that's number one. I'm not sure you can see back here. If you can see the building on outside of my window here, we will go to, you will see in a bit SPRM or MECC. Can you see that? That is MECC. That's another thing. I'm not sure what will happen to the MECC lineup with the newly formed government. Will there be a big change in terms of the MECC or SPRM, and how that will implicate any of the how to say, investigation on some ex-top officials.
In 600 meters, turn left onto the ramp.
And some of the ex-top officials become newly top official in the country because of the recent change in the government. So yeah, it is interesting to see what will happen next. Anyway, what should I talk about? So as I mentioned, this is just to avoid me getting sleepy. So
Turn left onto the ramp.
the project we have talked about, I'm not sure what else to be talking about, because I cannot really speak of the details of the project until if in the near future it becomes an implemented policy, then I can point out certain things about the policy. Of course, I think, because it becomes an official what do you call, document anyway, so we can just refer to it. Okay, so the police is asking us to go slow down. Why go? Okay, so there's some government official car that's passed by. I'm not sure who is coming back from office to go back home or something. Anyway,
In 3 kilometers, take the interchange on the left.
3 kilometers. Now, so let's talk about the nation. It is quite interesting. There's a lot of things to be talked about, I think, but there's certain topic that I try to avoid talking on camera, because it can trigger certain emotion or response or debate or argument, and for the most part I don't think those things is effective in achieving what I want to achieve in this life, I think, so far. But I will say this, right? When we talk about politics, everyone have their own opinion, which is formed due to whatever they perceive as the truth, whatever they perceive as the reality, whatever they perceive as a danger to the country, for example. And talking about danger, I think fear mongering, or let's just use that word, fear mongering, is a very effective tactic to use to control the people, I think, right? So in overseas, in international scene, it can be seen that
600 meters. Take the interchange on the left.
fear, inciting fear to in the people, in the society, is an effective method. Wait, is this the exchange? To get what you want, right? Whatever change that you want to take place, you can actually
Take the interchange on the left.
achieve by inciting fears in the people, and it is very effective. And I think in our country, in our society, in the Malay community, wait, is this, yeah, I'm not sure who is the originator of the fear factor here. Oops. I mean, who is the one responsible to incite this fear? Because I think for the most part, to be honest, I'm thinking that most people nowadays that further spread this fear of this certain group of people or party are doing so sincerely, because they actually are fearful themselves, and they think that such fear is a legitimate fear, right? So they do not incite, I think, from a perspective of wanting to, meaning achieve Machiavellian mindset or something, right? It's not like I want power, so I let us incite fear in people, and then they incite fears. I do not think that is what happened for the most part, for most people that I know of. I think for the most part, they are themselves very fearful, and they think that such fear is a legitimate fear, and hence they have to incite fears in others as well. Right? Thinking and believing that such fear is very legitimate. So I think that is what is going on. So I'm not sure who is the primary source of this fear mongering tactic. Okay, so I hope. Okay, this is one thing, right? This card, when the machine do not detect the card for whatever reason, and then we are stuck here, and I'm not sure if I have to reverse or something, because why is it tidak sah? Okay, so just our luck that we are behind a car that cannot meaning that the machine cannot detect the card. And now alhamdulillah it's okay. So hopefully we do not face the same. Alhamdulillah. Alright, so that's the thing with technology as well. It does help in our life so much, but one simple problem can delay the whole line and make a big mess. That's part of life, right? Anyway, what was it that we were talking about? Yeah, fear factor in politics, right? In power play. So yeah, I think it's quite obvious, looking at how people make up their mind, and reading what some of my friends are writing in the social media, etc. It is really interesting that it is quite obvious that such fear towards a certain group among Malay is a very, very big factor among within the current scenario, right? And yeah, I do not know what is the ultimate solution for this. And I'm not also commenting at certain element of concern perhaps behind the incited fear might be a valid concern. But when it is brought into a level of fear, it's very effective in controlling people, right? I think I used to be active in online discussion, online debate, and online forum in the Western how to say, part of the world, or Western people. And because as a Muslim, looking at how people really fear Muslim, and hence they make decision based on that fear, it is quite interesting when on the flip side we are seeing the same sentiment kind of from our own race or our own people towards others, right? So it is quite interesting to see that kind of fear factor become a defining factor in how people react and how people make decisions. Right, so what else? I have to find something to talk about, because otherwise I'm starting to get sleepy already, right? So we have, according to the GPS right now, Google Map, 44 minutes to reach I'm Gombak. Subhanallah. So fear, politics based on fear, will this ever go away? I'm not really sure. I'm assuming not, because it is very effective in bringing people to accept certain action, right? And I think in the world scenario, if someone really are fearful to the migrant people that migrate into your country, because such huge fear of them actually eventually will stab you in the back, for example, it does have a strong potential to lead towards you do not really care about certain things done to them, because they are the threat, right? And even if, generally speaking, normally speaking, you will not accept such inhumane treatment towards other, from a human being to another human being. But in this case, you tend to feel okay to accommodate or to allow or to make an exception to the rule for this type of treatment towards that type of people, because those people, that they are threat to the country, they are threat to my safety. Hence, when the authority do some bad thing to them, then they are threat anyway, right? So I think that is how dangerous it is when you incite fears in others. Wow. I'm becoming more and more sleepier now. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. So I'm already sleepy, man, and there's 40 minutes to go. Subhanallah. How can we survive this? You know what? I think I'm getting fat and fat because I'm always sleepy while driving. So I have to have something to eat while I drive. And because I drive a lot, so that means I eat a lot of junk food, or what do you call this? This biscuit is not really junk food, but it represents that kind of category of food perhaps. So yeah, because safety is the most important thing, right? So I have to eat anyway, even though it might make me accumulate more calories. Allahu Akbar. So I have this drinks and biscuit to keep me awake. No, there's no straw. Right. Subhanallah. I need some top up of this thing because I don't think this can last another 40 minutes. Oh, my eyes is so tired, man. Wow. Alhamdulillah, I have already prayed Asar in my stack, so not to worry about, you know, having to pray after I reach the destination. So what else to talk about? I'm not sure. Maybe if I have something or anything to talk about, I will switch on back the camera. But until then,